Other certain countries have reacted differently to other festivals?
You guys definitely get it.
No, everybody gets it.
Everybody gets it, but you guys definitely get it.
You guys laugh more than you guys, kind of get the kitschy humor to it a lot.
I mean, we've had some audiences are really boisterous, like you guys, and some are just, snickering and enjoying. Always at the end, people get real boisterous. In Spain, I think there was a little lost in translation, but at the end, they were cheering, boy. So,
yeah. I mean, the audience reaction has always been like really, really good, but it varies between outright laughter, where people are kind of holding their guts, and quiet. I mean, when Jim Cameron watched it, he wasn't laughing.
He left. He left once at the based on true events, not.
That's something I've always done. I've always wanted to take the piss out of fucking movie these days.
But Jim's super proud of Michael, and Jim gave him some sequel ideas. But I think
and
Michael might run with his own.
Yeah, I was like, thanks, Jim, but I got his own. Yeah.
And Robert was really proud of you.
Yeah. And Robert was and that's I gave Robert that kind of Robert Rodriguez is a very inspiring kind of guy, and he, I talked to him a little bit about, directing, and I had written a scene for him that for his movie, for Grindhouse. He said, if you want to write a scene, maybe I'll put it in. And I wrote one, and he shot it, and he didn't put it in. And he didn't put it in the extras either, but he shot it. I don't know what happened to it, but he knew I could write. And he was like, I'd ask him about, directing, and what about this, and what are you doing, Cameron, what are you doing? He said, why don't you go direct your own fucking movie? I'm like, I don't know. He goes, yeah, just go do it, man. Just go do it. That's what I tell, kids these days. They're ask me, like, how'd you get into it and whatever. Now you have the technology, and, anybody can make a movie now. And, you just go to YouTube and you can see, there's just so much talent out there. So it's a different world than when I was young. But this is something that just was like, it just came together so fast. It just all happened so fast, and it was just like this, tornado of energy, and it just all happened during that 5 weeks. It's amazing.
A lot of people have walked away with a really fun experience, and I know if we do a sequel, which I think we are, they'll all come back and work with us. So.
Yeah, I yelled at a lot of people, but nobody quit. Nobody got fired. And I think after a while they were like, all right.
Danny and I were giving an interview to Fangoria, and we didn't hear rolling. We were short-staffed. Maybe we didn't hear it. Maybe we were not paying attention. I don't know. We were laughing. All of a sudden, that person comes running out of the woods with a weapon in hand, going, "Who the fuck is talking?" And these guys were so freaked out. Our publicist was running after them, trying to get the tape back, which we never got back.
They had a shitty little recorder that was faced the wrong way. These days it probably would have helped.
So, would this be the beginning of more films for you, both producing and directing?
Well, the thing about this movie, you want to talk first?
You talk.
Okay. For me, the thing about this movie was I said that I would do it on such a low budget if I had total control of all of the artistic and all of the production and how we sold the movie. So nobody told me anything. I have complete control over everything to do with this movie. So that's what's so cool. I mean, that is really cool. And if I get a chance to do that again, I'd probably do that again. Now, when and how I would, directing-wise, yeah. I mean,
But our company is going to make more movies. Long Beach Productions is going to make more movies.
We have plans. But
we have plans.
And I'll be able to do,
plans.
yeah. And what we kind of want to do is we kind of want to set up kind of a Roger Corman-like company where we bring in young filmmakers and give them small budgets. Let them go to town and make good movies and kind of oversee it, see if there's any problems, and And
We're talking to some filmmakers that we really respect that might, slap their name on some projects.
yeah, that's what we're thinking about doing. Yeah.
Okay, well, I would now like to...
Is that vague?
Oh, no, it was perfect. I'm just thinking that there's a lot of people here who probably want to get a few questions in, so I don't want to take up any more of their time. So I'd like to open it up to the floor, if anybody would like to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was just wondering, after the ban Seven Simons, Cherry Falls, is this like your chance to return to horror, or do you have any other interests in returning to horror?
Well, you know what? I don't even consider this a horror movie. We originally called it a horror movie because we wanted to get on all the horror sites. We want to get publicity.
You can't let him loose. You gotta bring him in. Some crazy shit comes out.
Well, I don't think of it as a horror movie. It's just a suspense thriller, really. I mean, there's nothing horrible.
Somebody said it best earlier. Sorcha, she said it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid. It's a thriller, horror, grindhouse mix. It's a hybrid.
Yeah, so I mean, and I'm not this is I'm not even I know I'm going to be attacked. I've already been looked at what today like this, but I'm horror films is not my thing. It's not that's not my favorite genre of films. I like action movies. I like the drama. I like westerns. I like just about everything. Horror is the bottom. I like The Exorcist and The Omen, and it's just not my deal. And so I don't really consider this a horror movie. So, but I don't like I don't like all that really gory shit.
You might be lynching away out.
I think the deal is, if I may translate. I think the deal is that there are a few different kinds of horror. There's grindhouse, there's fun, low budget, it has a story to it, and then when the horror or the violence comes in, there's a point to it, which is more what you like, rather than just gratuitous kills.
Which a lot of people seem to really like.
Which I know a lot of people like. That's my goal, too. That's my translation, I'll be quiet.
Some more questions, please? Sorry, if we can hear you, there's a guy at the very, very back.
Can I ask you two questions?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, when I saw Terminator 2 for the first time, that was a theatrical release. Then I saw the director's cut, and I realized that your scene, where you prize cut release, was cut out. So I want to ask two questions. First of all, how did you feel when your scene was cut out at the theatrical release, and how do you feel about the newest incarnation, which is, of course, what's it called, Salvation? How do you feel about that?
Well, you know what? I spoke to Jim about that. I mean, I shot that. The thing about the Terminator 2 is that it's a long fucking movie. It's a really long movie. And he already had a couple of flashback sequences in it. And actually, it was in the trailer for theaters. So I mean, it was one of the last things to go. But as a director, you have to look at your movie, and you have to, there's stuff that you'd like to keep in, but it just doesn't, it's too long, and that's why most directors don't have final cut, because if they did, the movies would be so long, because they fall in love with their movies, And I've been cut out. I mean, I've been cut scenes. So many scenes have been cut out, and so I was kind of used to that. The only bummer about that was I got paid pretty well for it, and then because I was cut out of the movie, I didn't get any residuals for it. So that was bad. But as far as after T2, Jim Cameron, it's like Ridley Scott, Jim Cameron. These guys are brilliant. And I mean, it's interesting. Ridley's going back to do the Aliens again. So I mean, they're brilliant guys, especially Jim. I mean, if I was a director, I would never follow him. I just wouldn't do it. But